Did you know in the 1980s a band's manager got the Scotland Yard involved over an album cover? Or that one of these tracks is literally about a couple making out while the world is ending in a nuclear blast? Welcome to the 80s, where the hair is big and the music scene is bigger. MTV played these songs on repeat. We're talking about one-hit wonders from the 80s. For our first spin, Come On Eileen by Dexys Midnight Runners. This song was an absolute 1982 smash hit by a band whose name intentionally leaves out the apostrophe in Dexys because they're actually referencing a prescription amphetamine called Dexedrine. So you've got an iconic folk band that's named after an ADHD stimulant. Yeah, that's where we're starting. Frontman and songwriter Kevin Rowland based the song partly on his actual childhood sweetheart, Jeanette, but he mixed her into a character that was inspired by his massive Catholic guilt growing up. And the girl in the music video, Moira Fahey, was the real-life ex-girlfriend of the designer of the album cover. I bet that photo shoot was awkward. Now, for all you Brits, you may be thinking, hang on, because Dexys Midnight Runners had way more than one hit, and they did, but only in the UK. It was actually the biggest selling UK single in 1982, but in America, it was their only major hit. It actually famously bumped Michael Jackson's Billie Jean off of #1 in 1983. And if you love the beautiful a cappella section at the very end of the song, you're actually singing an old Irish folk song called Believe Me If All Those Endearing Young Charms. So what happened after their spotlight in the 80s? Well, Kevin Rowland is actually still very active in the group and in the music scene, and the group has recently announced a new album called Love for 2026. They also have UK and European tour dates lined up. They're definitely still around. But unfortunately, their founding member Andy Leek passed away in November of 2024. He was 66 and battling Parkinson's disease. You know what they say? The party always ends, but the music keeps going. On to the next one. Tainted Love by Soft Cell set the world record for the longest run on the Billboard charts in 1981. But here's where it gets interesting. It was actually a cover. It was originally written by Ed Cobb and recorded by Gloria Jones back in 1964. The band Soft Cell literally recorded their version in one day. They saw it as a quick throwaway B-side track for their Frankie Valli cover. But what they didn't know is that throwaway cover was gonna hit big. You know the signature bing bing in the background? That was by mistake. One of the most recognizable moments in music history from the 80s is a mistake. Isn't that crazy? It was a synthesizer glitch created on an early machine called the Synclavier that was 120,000 pounds. Expensive little machine. Not little. But the band loved the mistake so much that they kept it in, and thank goodness they did that because it's so iconic. But the heartbreaking part about it being a cover is this. Mark Allman, the singer for Soft Cell, later admitted that putting Tainted Love on their single was the biggest mistake that they'd ever made. Because since Tainted Love is a cover, and they had the Frankie Valli cover on the other side, the entire single was somebody else's content. That means that all the songwriting royalties that came from that single went to the original artists. They lost millions of pounds because they didn't include an original song on that single. Now, while Mark loved the TV spotlight, his keyboardist Dave Ball actually hated it, so much so that he got his friend to replace him and play air keys, whatever you would call that, when Soft Cell made their television appearance. Now that's commitment to avoiding the spotlight. Well, Dave Ball unfortunately passed away in October of 2025, just days after finishing the band's final album, Danceteria. Mark Allman is still touring and performing, and Danceteria was released in 2026 as a tribute to Dave Ball. And now I feel I've got to get away. Toni, Basil, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey Toni. Hey Mickey by Toni Basil was an absolute hit in 1982, but it was actually originally released in 1979 by a British band called Racy, and it wasn't even called Mickey at all. It was called Kitty. Kitty is so pretty, can't you understand? You take me by the heart and you take me by the hand. I don't know why I had like a New Jersey accent with that. When you take me by the hand. What am I? What's happening? I'm not from Jersey. What you talking about? But Toni Basil added her own little flair by creating the intro cheerleader chant that was absolutely legendary and everybody knew in the 80s. And despite her earlier career choreographing for the Monkees, no, it is not about Mickey Dolenz from the Monkees. That was just a complete coincidence. Toni Basil was absolutely the boss on this project. Not only did she sing and record the song, but she produced, directed, and choreographed the music video. And the green and gold LVHS sweater is actually her high school sweater from when she was a cheerleader in high school. So she wasn't just wearing a costume or something that wardrobe created for her. It was her actual real-life high school cheerleading outfit that she had when she went to Las Vegas High School. LVHS, Las Vegas High School. Not only is it so fine that it blew my mind, that she did most of the stuff for this song herself. Speaking of doing everything yourself and being your own director, producer, and everything else under the sun, that is how we run it here at Spin This, which is why you guys' super thanks and super chats help me out so much. Also, this episode's super Spin This supporters. Thank you so much to Ken Hobbs 8565, Tim Wallace 18, Sidium NL, Caught the Signal, Kurt FJ, Shelly Ballbuster, Fridge with Screen, N.E.0765. If you want to be like one of these guys and be shouted out in my next episode, then all you have to do is go down in the comment section, click this little icon, pick your amount that you want to support, and send your super thanks. Back to the boss. The other boss, the female boss, but she is still recognized as a pioneering choreographer, and her legacy lives on in every single cheerleading routine that you have seen pretty much ever. And on to the next spin, which is an absolute doomsday love song. And this is Melt With You by Modern English. This song was an absolute 80s staple, but it peaked at number 78 on Billboard's Hot 100. What? But it's still fine because it still became a cultural phenomenon. Here's the twist. It's actually an apocalyptic love song about two people kissing while they're watching civilization being wiped out by a nuclear bomb blast. So next time you hear I'll stop the world and melt with you while you're floating down an aisle at a grocery store, remember, that song is about nuclear annihilation. The singer Robbie Gray wrote the song while sitting on the floor in his cheap London flat in about 10 minutes. It never cracked the top 40 on Billboard's Hot 100, either of the 2 times it was officially released. But from the heavy rotation on MTV and the 1983 movie Valley Girl, the band eventually received a Lifetime Achievement Award for hitting 7 million radio plays. That's a lot. Hello, Mr. Corner. Since then, it's been used in ads for Burger King, Taco Bell, and Hershey's, because nothing says nuclear winter like a fast food commercial. So, what's going on with them today? Robbie Gray is still the frontman, and the band has actually kept the same core lineup since 1977. They've released a new album called 1, 2, 3, 4 in 2024, and Robbie Gray normally spends his winters in Thailand. Next up, I Want Candy by Bow Wow Wow. And a bow wow wow. Could I have any more hairspray in my hair right now? Oh my goodness. This was a cover built around a heavy Bo Diddley beat. Lead singer Annabella Llewellyn was shockingly only 15 years old when she recorded the track. The band was formed by Malcolm McLaren, the notorious manager of the Sex Pistols. And that heavy jungle sound migrated over from a band called Adam and the Ants, who was part of Bow Wow Wow, along with Annabella Llewellyn. But things got a bit darker with the album cover. Malcolm McLaren wanted maximum shock value, so he had 14-year-old Annabella Llewellyn do numerous photo shoots completely naked. Specifically an album cover idea where she was naked and the rest of the guys in the band were fully clothed. He was trying to recreate a famous painting, but it didn't work out well for him. Because Annabella Llewellyn's mother got the Scotland Yard in on it. And the Scotland Yard is basically Scotland's version of like the police. They launched a full criminal investigation onto Malcolm McLaren, and the entire band, including the manager of course, Malcolm, was banned from leaving Scotland until he promised to never use a single photo of her naked ever again for an album cover. But of course, as story goes, there's more drama, and he didn't listen. He continued to use the pictures. But despite all that, the cover was banned and replaced in a lot of countries, including the United States. Once the band was able to fire McLaren, they released their final album, and their guitarist actually encouraged Annabella Llewellyn to write her own music for once. Because Malcolm McLaren had told them exactly what to sing, exactly what to do for pretty much all of their songs. He was using them as puppets for him to make his own music, basically. So she deserved to write her own lyrics for the last album. Go Annabella Llewellyn. And what happened to Bow Wow Wow? Well, Annabella Llewellyn actually has her own solo career and still performs with Bow Wow Wow. In an interview with her in 2025, she actually revealed that her childhood dream was to be a drummer, not a singer. Go female drummers! You know what that means. And our sponsor for today's video is here, you guys listen. I'll talk.
It's a beautiful day. Steve from Spin this here.
Hey, yeah, what's the sponsor for today? I didn't see it in my notes.
Sponsor? Hypothetical situation here.
What?
How mad would you be exactly if you found out that I thought you said concert instead of sponsor?
Concert? Steve!
Very mad. Okay. Well, good thing that's not what happened.
Are you at a concert right now?
No.
Is that the Foo Fighters?
Simone, you're not going to believe this.
doing?
I'm working away here at the office, and the Foo Fighters just came in. They want to play us some songs here. Very upset right now. I'm trying to get some work done. I'm going to talk to you later. I love you, Dave Grohl!
He just hung up on me. Well, guess we don't have a sponsor today, apparently. On to the next spin, I guess. And now time for You Spin Me Round. Like a record, baby, right round, right round. You Spin Me Round by Dead or Alive released in November of 1984 and became a massive gender-bending MTV staple. The frontman Pete Burns had to take out a personal 2,500-pound bank loan in order to produce the song and the music video because the record label just flat out wouldn't. Record labels should take notes here because they refused to produce a massive hit. It took 17 weeks of creeping up Billboard's Hot 100, but eventually it got there to number 1 in the UK in 1985. And that iconic driving bass line wasn't a bass guitar at all. Producer Matt Aitken literally took a hammer and hit steel construction girders in the studio to create that iconic industrial sound. I'm not doing a good job at depicting this song. So when Pete Burns sings, "I've got to be your friend now, baby," just know that there's a construction worker somewhere that invented the sound behind him. Decades later, Flo Rida actually sampled the song for Right Round. So a song that nobody wanted to fund actually ended up funding a lot of people. The band's catalog still lives on through constant sampling and a recent TikTok revival. You look like you're lots of fun. Open up your loving arms, watch out, here we go. And now time for Whip It and the Energy Dome. Whip It by Devo was an absolute new wave staple of 1980. Those famous red plastic hats they wore were called energy domes. The band unironically claimed that they were used to trap and recycle orgone energy that escaped out of the human skull, and that's why they wore them. This is musical sci-fi lore of 1980. Lyricist Gerald Casale wrote the song as a tongue-in-cheek pep talk satirizing blind American optimism. You know, like, crack that whip, go forward, move ahead. It's basically making fun of corporate self-help culture, where everything's just like, keep on going, you can do this. Inspirational quotes. The lyrics were inspired by a famously dense book called Gravity's Rainbow. And also the main driving riff throughout the entire song was a modified, stolen version of the end of the riff from Roy Orbison's Oh Pretty Woman. The da-na-na-na-na. The whip sound effect was also recorded by an actual whip. They cracked the whip in a long echoing hallway in a studio in LA, recorded it with a microphone that then went through a synthesizer, and then was produced. The music video immediately became a 1982 MTV staple. It was actually inspired by the 1962 magazine article that said that a stuntman would actually whip the clothes off of his wife. Ain't that wild? The 80s were weird. It was a weird time. You could pretty much get away with anything in the 80s. And also huge shout out and thank you to Dan Hodge for making me this 3D printed Devo Energy Dome hat. It's pretty awesome. This is very cool and permanently going up in my set. Bing! It would not have looked as good if I just DIY'd it myself with poster board and tape, because that's what I was about to do. And what are the Devo guys up to now? Glad you asked again. It's very nice of you to continue asking these questions. Also, Mark Mothersbaugh, the lead singer and keyboardist for Devo, has gone on to become a prolific film and TV composer, working on Wes Anderson films and the Lego Movie. And also Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, Hotel Transylvania, Minecraft movie, all the Hotel Transylvanias, 1, 2, 3, 4, Monster Pets, Lost in Oz, Last Man on Earth, Thor Ragnarok, my goodness, the Sims mobile video game, the Lego Ninja movie, Ice Age, wait, there's another Ice Age, oh, 2016, yeah, the Alvin and the Chipmunks, Pitch Perfect 2, House of Flies, Alvin and the Chipmunks again, Shipwrecked, it was a great movie, Shameless, wow, so he's done all the way from Disney to whatever you classify that show. Oh, he did 26 episodes in Shaggy and Scooby-Doo, get a clue, more Sims, My Sims 2, Pets, oh, that was a great one, LAX. We talked about that in the last episode. Go check it out. Sitcom theme songs. It's great. Oh, Herbie. Really? Herbie? Like the original? Oh, he was a composer for Herbie. I love Herbie. Popeye's Voyage. The Quest for Pappy. Oh my goodness. Mr. Potato's Head Show. The Rugrats movie. That makes sense, but they kept bringing back 1998. Pee-wee's Playhouse for 15 episodes. Pee-wee Herman. So we didn't get into composing until the 90s. Numerous credits per year. Okay, let's go off the deep dive. In addition to all of that I just said and spit out, researched, and became obsessive about, a Netflix documentary called Devo premiered in 2025. I'm gonna have to go watch the Devo movie now. I didn't know that existed until I researched it for this video, and now I have to watch it. Let's move forward. Move ahead. 8675309. This 1981 Tommy Tutone track had a character that was completely made up. Jenny isn't real. She's also not a friend of mine. Get it? For those of you who get it, thank you. But the actual phone number caused so much mayhem, emphasis on the ham, to the point of where phone carriers actually banned the phone number from being used in real life, because it got wild. Thousands of real people who shared that number 8675309 with different area codes were completely bombarded with prank calls, asking if they were Jenny. One poor woman specifically from Toledo, Ohio, was getting hundreds of calls a week. I can't. Today, depending on your area code, if you were to call the number, you would either get an out-of-service error, the National Cancer Support Helpline, or a hidden Easter egg voicemail from Jenny. In 2009, a New Jersey DJ who had the 201 area code version of the phone number actually sold it on eBay for $365,000. And for all you math nerds out there, 8675309 is a prime number. You're welcome. Back in 1982, a Chicago radio station actually got their hands on the number and used this as a massive marketing campaign. But they had to almost immediately shut it down. Their lines were absolutely crippled by 22,000 calls in 4 days. People were going insane over this number. So if Jenny even were real and she had that number, she probably had to change it, or else she would have been bombarded. God help the woman who actually answered the phone and her name was Jenny at the time, and she didn't know. So where did Tommy Tutone end up? Well, Tommy Heath, the lead singer of the band, is still performing at age 78 and was planning a new studio album as of 2024. In 2026, he partnered with a campaign that lets you dial 8675309 and it would take you directly to the National Cancer Support Helpline, turning a famous number into a charity line. Man, from prank calls to saving lives, that's not bad for a fake phone number. And now welcome to the medieval 1980s, for some reason. Why was Safety Dance by Men Without Hats set in the medieval times? I don't know, but that's a different episode. The Safety Dance, written by the Canadian synth-pop band Men Without Hats, was an absolute 1982 smash hit that was written as a total middle finger almost did it, to every single club bouncer who had thrown him out for doing his favorite dance, pogoing. Honestly, when I found out what pogo dancing was, it's pretty much what every single one of us does now when a lead singer tells us to jump up and down. It's basically just jumping up and down in place. But in the late 1970s and early 1980s, pogoing was a little bit more aggressive, and you would sort of bounce into each other, and if you had a beer, you would throw the beer all over the place, so it was a little bit more chaotic. So essentially, he would do this dance, bouncers would kick him out, and now he created the safety dance because he wanted a place where everybody could just dance how they wanted to. Hence the line, we can go where we want to, a place where they'll never find. And we can act like we come from out of this world and leave the real one far behind. So all in all, the song was a total declaration of personal freedom. He just wanted to dance. Come on, just let the guy dance. Now let's talk about the iconic blonde dancer in the medieval music video who is strictly known as Jenny. No last name. Her actual identity and who she actually is has remained a total unsolved mystery to this day. She's basically the Bigfoot of 80s music videos. Also throughout the music video, you see dancers doing a very stiff S sort of dance, like this and this. Presumably this is S for safety dance, because they're dancing safety, so safety dance. So, where is Men Without Hats today? Glad you asked. The lead singer Ivan Durazchuk remains active in the music industry, and Men Without Hats actually dropped a fresh album in 2025 called On the Moon. Durazchuk was also inducted into the Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame, and his daughter now plays keyboard with the band. Keeping it in the family. You should have walked away because I just died in your arms tonight. I should have walked away. I should have walked away. By Cutting Crew. That's actually how they sang it. Exactly like that. Actually, I did it better than the original. I'm totally joking, if you can't tell. I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight by Cutting Crew was an absolute 1986 power ballad. But the title of the song was actually something that their singer really said to his ex-girlfriend during a very romantic moment. If you know what I mean. The BBC actually banned the song during the Gulf War because of the word died in the title. But it still holds a massive corporate crown. It was the first ever single issued in America by the newly established Virgin Records. And this song went straight to #1. This song got the band a Grammy nomination for Best New Artist in 1987. And it actually recently blew up again due to its feature in Stranger Things. Go Stranger Things for bringing back 80s music. So where's Cutting Crew now? They're celebrating their 40th anniversary. They released a new orchestral reimagining in 2025. And in 2026, the song joined the Spotify Billions Club by surpassing 1 billion streams on Spotify. So since Steve is at the Foo Fighters concert, he has decided that he's going to hijack the tour bus and bring the Foo Fighters to the Spin This studio. Steve gives me a headache. He thinks he's gonna succeed. I think he's gonna get a restraining order, and I'm just waiting for the call. So, yep. Spam. Yep, spam. Hello? Yes, my refrigerator is running. You know what? Hello? Hi, yes, I would like to place an order for a pepperoni pizza. Stuffed crust, please. Yeah, that'd be great. Oh, do you guys have fresh basil? Yes, that too. And can I have some extra Parmesan packets? And no need to put the red pepper flake packets in there. I'm not gonna use them. Could I actually do half of it with mushroom and then half of it extra cheese? No, sorry, extra sauce. Yeah, and still the pepperoni on it, all of it, yes. Yeah, that'll be all. Okay, great, 30 minutes. Got it. Cool. Thank you so much. Have a good day.